Hi everyone, today I am covering support and resistance lines. These are horizontal lines that you draw on your charts that you put them on there subjectively. Most of us will have the same lines because what we're looking at is putting these lines at the tippy top of a structure, at the very bottom of a structure, and everywhere else that you see multiple touch points. So for example, this is the NASDAQ, and here I have added a line. Let's go here. So this line is coming from the top of this, but you see that the area, this line that I put in here was met again. It blocked the move from going up. It was going rejected there, came back down, then finally went through, but you'll see here it pulled back again to that same area. So while these lines are, they will not be exact, they do serve as an awareness point. So if your price is coming near one of those lines, just have that simple awareness that it may reject it in that area. And so here's another line that I drew at the top here where the price was rejected. Then the price went through here, and again the NASDAQ came back down. I'm saying price, but I'm talking about the market. So when we go to the stock, that'll make more sense, me saying price. So here, the line that we drew, it had rejected here. Then the market went back up, went through it, but then came back down. And that is what we draw our lines for two things: areas of awareness, and then also actionable areas. So this here these are lines that we pre-drew based off of the past information, and you see that the NASDAQ just cut right through it. So even though give me 1 second. Okay, so even though we cut right through it, you can see where the NASDAQ paused or ended that day around that line, then tried to go back up, but it rejected it. This is the daily chart. So this is one day, this candle here. Let me just expand it. So this candle here is 1 day of action, and that line that we had previously drawn based off of other points, the price paused, or the market paused right there. Then the next day it really tried to break back up. You see that little wick on that candle up, but it rejected it right there. And then the following day it just pulled away from that line, but it didn't go through the second area of support or resistance that we had here. And so it kept going. This is the fourth day, just broke free from that, and now we're here at this other area. So whether or not it goes exactly to here, it really depends, because some of it is just how I've drawn the lines. Someone may want to put it here where the area is, this is where the price was supported, or you want to draw it up a little bit higher here. Actually, you could probably put it, I don't like that one unless it was, yeah. So I like mine to be here where I've got one touch point, it rejected from it. Then it found support at that area, then it rejected back down to it. So this is where I'm happy with this line. Yeah, and so that is just going to show you that the NASDAQ does not have to come back to this line, have to come down to this line to take off or to chop around here. It could just hover, but this is an area of support, or maybe a potential support for the NASDAQ in this coming week. Now let's go to the Dow, because that's the most exciting for me, because if you look at the Dow, here, let me just, I've been wanting to get that box out of there. I didn't draw the lines throughout here, but we did draw this one last week, and it's super exciting to see because this was placed here as an area that the Dow was resisting, so would not break above this area for a while. So this is a couple of weeks. This is the daily chart. And so that line was drawn. The bottom of that area is drawn here. And so what we see here is the Dow finally broke through that. It did come back to test twice, 3 times even. There's a wick on this here. When I say test, it means going back down to that line. So we see that wick there. So broke through, came back to test, rose for that day, came back down, and this is where it closed for that day. And then we've got it opening just above, tested that area again. You see that little baby wick there, and then started to rise above that line. So that line that was put in this area, which is December, if you look at the little box at the bottom, tells you the date right here. Oops. Yeah, December, end of December into January. That line that we drew there became support last week, and I just think that is so cool to see. So here we go. The Dow really tried to push further down and further down and further down, further down, and with no luck. And then on Friday, that same line acted as support. So I hope that makes sense. That's just a review of the markets that we did, that I wrote about in the newsletter. But let's go I cleared a chart, Home Depot, and I want to go through it with you to draw some lines. So how far back do you want to draw your lines? I mean, you can go back 3, 4, 5 years. Now, if you are just, what I typically do, if I have not marked up my chart from way back then, I will just focus on what is in like this kind of area, like where it could actually go within the next few weeks. So I go back as far as I need to see, like, so all of this covers that area, and then the rest of it is, the price is way lower, like $50. So here I take a look, and this is December 2021. And I'm going to draw some lines in that, starting in that area. So it's going to look pretty cool. I don't know about look, but okay. First, I put one at the tippy top. Sometimes if there are, like so I'd like to put it at the tippy top, but if I do see that more candles can meet that line, I will just bring it down closer to that section, because that kind of is like, an outlier day. But I'm just going to bring it right there. All right, and then let's put something at the bottom of the structure. And the bottom of the structure, I mean, like, where did the price reject or hold or come back to test? So here it came back to test once and twice, then it dipped below, and then it came back up, and then it just broke through here. So I do have 2 touch points here. This one, an area rejected, but I'm gonna leave it for now, and then I'm gonna go here. All right, so I've got this one because this is more of the major structure, and so you've got almost like that double top, I say almost, it is a double top. Maybe you may call it a head and shoulders. I don't know like what degrees it needs to like dip down each one. It should be a little bit more like low, high, low. Okay, we're not going into that right now. lay it back to the support and resistance line. So here you go. I like this area because it popped off of it 3 times, then it broke right through it. So it tried to gap down, it tried to come up just a bit, and then ultimately it failed. So I love this line. That was very easy to see and draw because, I mean, look at that consolidation. Boom, 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 boom. And that previous consolidation acted as, so that line there where it was rejecting also rejected the price again here. So if you were in a call and it got near here, you could consider coming out. You would have other criteria that you would be looking at. For me, all the moving averages are declining. So if I decided to take a small call here, I'd want to be out of here as it was approaching this line because there's a lot of downward pressure from the moving averages above. Now, that line we drew there, I'm going to draw a line at the bottom of the structure, and I'm saying bottom of this structure, kind of just goes through here. It does, you know, this area is not exact, but it does reject twice from that area right here and then right here. And by reject, I mean it just doesn't, it might cross a little bit, but it doesn't let it stay above, or it definitely doesn't support it. So we're drawing lines from the past, still going. I'm going to do that one here. I've got two times it touched, then it broke through. I'm going to bring it, let me bring this one, dang, okay, I'm going to leave that there. And then this one, I kind of wanted to, I didn't want to have like so many lines, but I'm going to do this. I'm going to try to capture these next lines, and I say 1. I'm going to just draw right through that 2, and then it did have another touch point here is 3, so I'm going to leave it there. Now, these are lines that we drew from 2021 to 2022. I'm just kind of fast forward, and oh my goodness, what is that? So that is so cool. And that's why we draw these, and you can go back and draw them in the past, especially if you're trading an area that is still significant today. And what I mean by that is there's no point in drawing lines when the price was at $50 unless we're nearing that price point again. So all of those lines that we drew have given us information and have proven that they are still valid. Look at this. So I didn't draw anything new. So this line went all the way up, paused, rejected. Then it broke through several lines, but then here it pulled back. And at this area, it was dancing around it and then went right through. Never hit this area at the top, but I bet there's other lines to be drawn. And then you'll see it break this line completely, but then dance around this one. So, and here we are as of close on Friday. The last line drawn from this structure here actually supported this area again. So when I am planning a trade on a specific stock, I do go back and refresh my lines. I also come in and look at, so I'm on the daily chart, I'll look at the 4-hour chart to see if there's anything more recently significant in this area. Like here, I would say, yeah. I like this little dip right there. I'm going to put a line there. And that line covers that one. Then we've got a bunch of, we got some support right there that's close enough right there. This is rejected over here. And then I do want to put one here. Okay, and put one right there because I like what I see there, just a bunch of consolidation, and that consolidation supported it again here, supported the price again here, tested it again here. Oh my goodness, like that's a good line right there. So let's see, anything else I want to put on here is if I were to oh yeah, so if I were to really trade this, if I am, you know, it's still technically in a downtrend, so I am not ready to I'm just not going to jump in a call. And so I want to make sure that I have lines that are set up for areas of potential support. So where it could bounce if it continues. So if I get into a put and it continues down, where could it potentially bounce? And here definitely is one area here, because this resisted that price, wouldn't go above it for about a week. Then it just popped right up, which makes sense. These moving averages are going up. So that supported that little pull into the moving averages and popped up. So it just broke that area of, it was resistance, and then it just popped up above it. So if this continues down, I'd want to be on alert around this area, because we've seen that potentially while it was resistance, it's going to flip over, could be support, potential support here. And where else would I draw? Oh yeah, right there. I like that. I like these like consolidated areas because it's like the price struggles there. So the price struggled, it rejected a few times, and then it finally found support. That would be my next area. If I were taking a little bit closer look, I mean, there you can put lines just about everywhere, like, ooh, it tested there, ooh, it tested there. And I'm not saying don't do it, but at some point you want to, you can't have lines like every 5 points. You can, and I really want to put one here because I see like a little bit of struggle there. But what you want to pay attention to is when you see things kind of crossing these lines, the other elements that are coming into play are, you know, how was the earnings reaction? What are the moving averages doing? What does the volume look like if you're including volume in your strategy? So the lines, I'm not saying they become less important, but they become a little weaker once you have other things on your side. So like this right here is a great example of the moving averages are going, we've got price consolidating, pulling into a line. Yes, it pulled back several times, but it popped up above, and once it broke that there, then it was going to go up for a little while. So just ate right through those lines. I hope I'm not confusing anyone. This is my video for the day. Have a good rest of your day, and yeah, I hope you learned something. Bye.